Good morning, world. Here are continuing from our interview yesterday with Philip. We are really happy from. I got some feedback yesterday from the interview we posted, and people are excited about watching and learning how pros work. It's never a smooth sailing. It's always like, you know, discovering things as we go. And so it's nice to learn that even when top-notch developers are doing technical interviews, there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of discussions and discovery. So today we're going to continue with Phil with some hands-on, more like okay, running the system, trying to grow it, design it, and I'll let Phil drive. I think yesterday we pretty much nailed the expectations or the specs, right? You had a really nice spec with some confirmation examples, and now over to you, Phil, to walk us through how would you now grow this system step by step. And again, real pros, in my opinion, are taking small steps. And sometimes people think, well,
Okay.
if you're a pro, you just make a giant leap and everything done in one step. No, that's not how things work. So Phil is going to illustrate to us today how real pros work growing the system. Please share your
All
screen, Phil.
right. Okay. So this is funny because there's pressure during an interview, and now we're recording it for the world, and so now there's even more pressure. Great.
Hey, no pressure.
Not a problem.
No pressure.
Okay.
Just unvarnished reality. Just how things really are in the real world.
Okay. You can ignore that board game in the background. All right.
I'm not seeing your screen. Sorry.
Oh, you can't see my screen
No,
yet?
no. Just your camera.
Open
I
share tray. Okay. And I'm going to share this. All right. Now you can see
Yep. I can see the screen.
my screen. And I have mini tests set up
Excellent.
with the previous
Excellent.
promo service. And here were two tests that run. So I'm going to run this, and they should pass. So the question is, what do we want to do next? Well, how do we want to make this promo service, or what services do we want to add next?
Okay, so you have certain order of or sequence of thinking when you're growing this system, right?
Yeah, right. So how would we flesh it? Okay, so we have this promo service which calculates a discount for whatever code that was entered, chosen by the user. So what would be next? Let's see. We've got a discount percentage. Now this one, I think I can probably delete this one since we're not using active record. And we've got a promo percentage. Do we want to apply the percentage to the shopping cart? Is that what we want to try next, or what?
It's kind of up to you. I mean, there's two possibilities. One is you just get this service to give you the discount, or you can get the service to actually subtract the discounted value from their order total and sends back how much the customer is actually going to pay.
Okay.
Disregarding tax and shipping, that's a different concern.
Okay, now the discount percentage does work. So here it says assert that the service discount percent is 15 for code ASDF.
Right.
And if there's no such code, it returns 0. So these tests pass.
Excellent. Now, you would probably want to think about testing your system when it actually applies 15%.
Okay.
What happens then?
Okay. So we would want a shopping cart service, and we'll just call it a shopping cart test, and we want to test that the shopping cart let's have a baseline. Like, let's say there's a couple of items in the shopping cart. We want to test that it returns the total of those items when there's no discount. So let's say we're going to test total without promo code. And so we're going to say, delete this. We're going to start, we need a cart. So we're going to say cart equals shopping cart dot new, and we're going to say it's going to have a couple of items in it, which is an array of objects, and it's going to have a promo code of, well, nil. And let's say we're going to start with very, very like primitive items where we have a SKU and a price. So let's say this SKU is, let's say I'm buying t-shirts, and one of them is a t-shirt that says more cowbell, because I actually have one of those t-shirts. And the price would be $30. We can use, are you okay with using round numbers?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I also need a belt, so I'm going to need a brown belt, say brown leather belt. I mean, realistically, SKUs are normally short and impossible to read, but we don't actually have a SKU system yet, so we could refactor that later. Let's say the belt is $40. Okay, so we have a shopping cart, and we've got 2 items in it. Now we could add the items one by one to the shopping cart instead of upon initializing the cart. But we could do that later if we thought that was valuable to do it that way, if we thought it was cleaner to do that way. But now we want to assert that the cart total is equal to $70 because there is no promo code and there's no taxes. And we're going to run the test because we want to do Red-Green-Refactor. So we're going to run. I think it's running. Sometimes this website's slow. What's happening? And how do I clear this? Do I do this? Yes. Okay, I'm going to click stop and I'm going to try running it again. Run. Now I know this is going to fail anyway because there's no such class. So while I'm waiting for this slow website, I'm going to make this class. Definitionalize, and we're going to have items and promo code. Why is it not running? Wow. It's not cool. That's not good. I wonder if I might have broken it. I mean, I don't know whether there's some bug in this website.
When did
So
you
I'm
run
going to comment it out.
When did you run your previous test? When we were talking or before?
It worked. It ran.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I'm going to comment out this class and I'm going to run it again.
Yeah.
My internet's fine because, come on. We might have to use another website. Oh, I was supposed to set up my Ubuntu machine for this, but I didn't think I needed to. Okay, how about I refresh the page? Hopefully it's saved. Yeah, hopefully it's saved. If it's not saved, I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to refresh the page. Okay, it's still got. Oh no, it didn't save it? Wow, that is disappointing. Okay,
Try run it.
that's so dumb. Okay.
Try to run it first.
Okay, and I'm gonna run the existing test. They should just run, blah, blah, blah. And they should pass, yes. Okay, two runs, 0 failures. Now I'm gonna add these tests. This looks pretty, I almost copy paste. Now running again, and it should get 1 failure. Okay, good. Now it's working better. So reloading the page seemed to work.
All right, we're in business.
Okay, I'm going to put the class shopping cart over here, and then we're going to initialize items SKU promo code. Now, there's probably a faster way to do this, but we're going to do it the primitive way. And then we're going to calculate the total. And we're going to say items. I wonder if we could do a block. We can probably do a block here and item dot price. Okay, let's try to run that. Some syntax error, and let's see, item price, where did items sum, sum do item, I'm guessing. Okay, probably have syntax. And while we're waiting, undefined method price for, oh silly me, it's not a method, it's a hash entry. Okay, let's do it again. String can be coerced into integer. Oh, silly me. Why was I using strings here? It probably should be floats. Okay, I'm gonna leave these integers for now. No, they should be floats. I might be surprised. Okay, so the test passed.
So just to refresh from the yesterday's conversation, you are now illustrating here the importance of never letting the code not be working. Because if you didn't stop and run the tests, you could keep going for like hours, right? And then eventually, and this is what inexperienced developers sometimes do, they just keep coding, eventually stop and run, and you have like millions of, you can't compile, you can, syntax errors and all kinds of errors. And now,
yeah, isn't that strange?
Yeah, I remember, to be honest with you, when I was a junior, my first job, I was working like that. I was being heroic and I was writing code for hours. And my manager, she applauded me. She was like, "Alex, I'm watching you work. You're phenomenal. Like all these other guys, they stop every minute and check, and you just keep coding and coding. You're fantastic." And I thought that's the mark of a great. Everything was completely backwards, and it took me a lot of harsh incidents to learn that no, you can't go like that. It's idiotic to just keep heroically pumping code for hours, and like this is how real pros work. Anyway, so this was a nice illustration of that principle that you just did. Every little step of the way you try, okay, you learn, discover the error quickly, you fix it, and now we're back to in green. We're in green. Please carry on. Please carry on. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to add another test where we do have a promo code, but it's an invalid one. So test with add promo code. And I'm going to copy most of this. And now we're going to use, now actually I might want to clean up this list of items and assign it to a variable somewhere to make it easier to read, but I can do that later. I'm going to say no, or essentially bad code, and the total should still be 70. So this, I won't be getting a failing test here because this already works. I mean, I could get a failing test if I go into the promo service and I make it break when the code is invalid. So the promo service is up here. I bring it down. So this is the logic. Let me delete this again. This is the logic for invalid promo code. So if I comment this out, then I'll probably get the failing test, and then I'll know that this failing test is a legitimate test. So I'm going to run it, and I get one failure, which it says test invalid code. Okay, so it's the correct test. Wait, no, it's a different test that's failing. It's the promo service test that's failing up here. And so this one is not failing. So why is it not failing? Does that mean it's a bad test? Because I expect that, I'm not doing anything with the promo code here.
Yeah.
So that's why
You're just adding up the total, yeah.
Okay, you know what? So in order to make it fail, we're going to need to actually try and refer to the promo code here, and I'm going to say subtotal, and then we're going to say subtotal plus the promo code. Yes, and then we'll get a failing test. Then we'll know that this is a useful test. So the promo service, we're going to say promo service equals promo. Where's the autocomplete? Oh, there you go. Promo service.new, and the code is the code, promo code. So promo service dot discount %. All right, now we'll get another failing test. Hopefully we'll get this one failing as well. Nil can't be coerced into float. Okay, good. This is what we want, because this, with invalid code, this discount % becomes nil. So now we're going to restore this logic and run the tests again. And I think they're both going to pass. Yes, good. All right. So these cases or edge cases are working well. And now we're going to test the happy case where we have a good promo code. Good promo code. Let's say ASTF. And it's going to apply 15% discount because I know that's up here. I could, like, sometimes, you know what? This is what I do, because I'm a real pro when it comes to writing tests. Expected discount %, because then I don't have to scroll. See, then I don't have to go all the way up to the top there. Or I could even access. Oh yeah, this is something really genius that I like to teach people. It's called a pre-assertion. Well, I mean, that's what I call it. I don't know what the official name is, but ASPF, yeah, right. So this is going to be the expected %, and I'm going to assert on this, because then I know I don't have to scroll all the way up and dig deep. I only have to look at this one function here to understand what's happening. And it's very, very explicit
Yeah, so it's a good point. Just quickly, pause. I want to comment on one thing, which is
Okay.
dry. We are definitely, when we talk about clean code and whatnot, we're talking about dry. Don't repeat yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
code duplication is a breeding ground for bugs. And so, in your implementation code, in your shipping code, we should strive to minimize duplications. And if you have declared certain knowledge in your code, it should be declared in one once and only once, right? So that you avoid the shotgun surgery problem when later on something changes. However, when you're writing tests, that does not apply. It's okay not to be dry, which you illustrated nicely here. You can have duplicate code because it's all about readability, and test is not a shipping code, so it it is okay to relax the dry principle. Awesome,
Completely agree. Yes,
awesome. Thank you.
readability is very important for
Oh yeah,
tests
yeah. No, you
because
really
they can get
nicely.
very complicated.
Yeah, you really nicely illustrated it here. So yeah, great. Continue, please.
Okay. Okay, so this is a pre-assertion. This is not actually testing the logic that I care about. It is testing the test data, actually.
Yeah.
And it's documenting the test data so that whoever's reading the test can understand what's happening. So here we're going to say we're expecting the cart total equals 70 equals to $70. I mean, I could, if I wanted to, I could add these up as well. But I'm just illustrating the documentation here, where I'm going to calculate the expected value by taking this and then applying a discount to it. So 1 minus expected discount percent divided by 100. That's probably going to be .0. Okay, I'm going to run this, see what happens. Failure. Let's see, with good promo code, expected false to be truthy. Okay, so it didn't return what was, I did this completely wrong up here. It's the pressure of it's like when you're doing the driving, you might not be navigating as well. So this math is completely wrong. Why is it not giving me the actual values though? Like ideally it would give me what I really need is an assert equal. Because then it could give me the values that were expected and the values that I actually got. So I'm going to really quickly do main constant equal. It's probably assert equal. Yeah, that's more like it. Expected and actual. Okay, so assert equal. We expect this, and then that will tell us what the actual values are. I don't really need it, but it'll help. And now it says expected 59.5 was actually 85 because I was being goofy here. Now the downside to doing it this way is that if I were to copy this logic into this code, then the problem with that is this logic could be wrong. And then I would be testing my logic with the same code that is the application logic. So it might be better to hard code this, but it depends. Sometimes, I know, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take this logic, which I like, and I'm gonna put it up here, but I'm gonna change my test. So I'm gonna pick subtotal and I'm gonna multiply it. Yeah. And then I'm gonna change this to make it clearer and different. And I'm gonna say this should be 0.85. Then we know we're not like, we know the logic and the tests have different code. Okay, non-defined expected discount percent, huh? Oh, silly me. we've got to get the promo. We got to calculate the promo service discount percent. It's right here. Okay, running again. Promo service dot discount percent. Okay, passing. Yay. All right. What's next?
Excellent. Yep, I really like how this is going. What next do you have in mind? So far, you've grown a system that can, deal with if there's no promo code, it works fine, right? I think you're testing for nil, right?
Yes, promo code nil.
So it's not confused if there's no promo code, business as usual. If there is a promo code, it calculates properly. As the values are matching the expected value, so it knows how to calculate the discount. What else? Now you may come to me as the product owner and tell me, look, I have the bare bones here. This is the walking skeleton. It calculates your total as usual. It applies the promo code. It calculates discount. What else? Now I'm gonna tell you, for example, what happens if somebody applies the promo code that has expired?
Oh,
right?
Nice. Okay.
They may forget about it the next week, like, oh, I want to order something, and they go to the checkout, pay now, and then this promo code actually is not valid anymore. Your system should be able to deal with that, right?
Okay, cool. Yes, of course. So now we're going to test with an expired promo code. Should we test it with an expired promo code first or with an unexpired? Well, I mean, all of these are unexpired.
Yeah,
like this one is unexpired, so we're going to go with an expired promo code.
Yeah. And
we're going to make a new promo code, and it's going to be something that expires.
So that probably means you should enhance your promo code to have the attribute such as the expiry date.
Yeah. Okay. I want to come up with something witty, but
yeah.
I'm just going to use expiring.
Stale. Your promo code is stale.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have an expected discount, and we're gonna have, now we can simplify this shopping cart now, because we don't actually care about how the items are added up together. So they're not relevant to this test. So let's make it simpler. And it's expiring. Because it's expiring, the total is going to be the same. Like, it's not going to affect the cart total at all. And in this case, do I even need these lines? Okay, well, actually, I'm going to expect that the expected discount percent is going to be 0. So I could test the promo service itself. I probably should do that. But you know what? If we want to make our code easier to refactor, I might not want to test it in the promo code service, because the more tests you have at all the different layers of your code, the harder it is to refactor. Yeah. So I'm actually not going to add a test for the promo service for expiring codes, so that I can refactor like crazy. And I'm just going to have a test up here at this shopping cart level, which is high level, and it's the interface that I care about.
Excellent.
Okay. So this would test what we want to do, but it's more documentation. So expected discount percent will be 0, but we need an expiry, and we're going to say I could document the expiry too. Yeah, you know what? While I'm on that, I'm going to say, the problem with this is I'm digging inside of the promo service. That's that's breaking the law of Demeter, whatever.
Yeah.
So this is a problem. Okay, I'm going to say breaks law of Demeter, and we can fix that.
Now we are really, and I like this, we are really deep into the refactoring territory.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we can refactor. We'll get the tests to pass, and then we'll refactor. But okay, right. So I'm going to say there's an expected expiry date of the promo code, and we're going to have a new function. Wait a second. I'm still testing the promo service here. That's more coupling. That's more coupling with it. Oh man, too much coupling with internal implementation. Okay, my spelling's wrong. Yeah, it's just annoying. So maybe there's a downside to this documentation here. I'm gonna comment that out, and I'm going to move on, and I'm going to if I run this test, it's going to pass because there's no such promo code. So I need it to fail. Right. So I'm going to assign up here. I'm going to make a stale promo code, and it's going to have a discount of 9%. And then we're going to run this test, and it's going to fail. Yes. And now we needed to calculate the discount differently based on the expiry. Now, so each of these promo codes, these can no longer be just objects. An object with the promo codes now needs to be an array of objects where there's a code and there's an expiry date.
Here's the moment, if I may interject, where we recognize that TDD is actually driving the design from primitive obsessions towards more proper abstractions. We always start with the simplest, primitive, integer, string, something that's really simple. But then we recognize as we are growing the system, wait a minute, I need a proper business abstraction, something that models the business domain. In this case, we are learning that promo code should be probably a business object of some sorts, right? Has its own properties and maybe even some capabilities. So that's the beauty of it, that we, like peeling the onion, we're slowly discovering and modeling the business, which you are doing really nicely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that prompt, because I was going to continue using primitives, but yes, you're right. We need a whole new class called promo code.
Yeah, primitive obsession is a big problem in our craft. That too many repos that I review have just integers, strings, booleans. Not talking about business. It's really primitive, and it's a low grade, low quality code.
Yeah. You want your code to explain things. When you're just using, you want to have names for things and names for ideas.
Exactly. The ubiquitous language, the domain-driven design, right? And Robert Martin said as you're doing TDD, the more specific tests get, the more generic the code becomes, the shipping code becomes. So that's also the cadence, or the this is why we call it test-driven development, because tests are driving this whole system. It's growing from tests.
Right. Okay. Okay, we got a new promo code class, and
Awesome.
we're going to default expiry to nil.
I think you forgot the value of the percentage, the discount,
Oh,
right?
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And okay. So we got the promo code object, and now we need to we need to know when promo codes have expired. So, you know, this is something we're going to need to add, and now we're going to calculate. So now the thing is, how do we continue doing this incrementally? Because I could probably pound out another 20 lines of code without running any more tests, but that's a bad idea. So what's the smallest step that we can take? The smallest.
Don't you want to refactor your? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. I don't want to. Smallest step. Yeah.
I do want to refactor the promo service. So, but I'm wondering, like, what is the smallest step that we can take to do that? And like, this would become an array, and then this would refer to.
Well, first of all,
this could be an array of these objects.
Why don't you do that and see if tests pass?
I know it will work, but it might not be the most efficient thing. But rather than dwelling on how efficient it'll be, I'm going to set up the test for it and then optimize later.
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to make this, I'm going to comment this out, and I'm going to make this now an array of promo codes. And we're going to say promo code new, and it's going to be code ASTF counters. Come on, help me out. No? Type it all out. 15, and there's no expiry for that one. And then we're going to do this one. It's called stale. And this one will have an expiry, and it's going to be sometime in the past 2000, the Y2K moment. Okay, and then this will fail our tests. Ooh, wait, no. Now the thing is, does this need to be, instead of an array, should it be a hash of promo codes? Or it could loop through the array and then return the first one that matches the code. That's a dumb, inefficient way of doing it. A hash is more, but then it would require some duplication.
Again, maybe you discovered a new abstraction.
Sorry, I discovered what?
A new abstraction.
Oh. Okay, you know what? You could be right. You could be right about that. I think you're probably right about that. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to get too far away from the task at hand. We need to make a little incremental step. Otherwise, we're just gonna end up down a rabbit hole, and we'll get lost.
It's okay to move slowly from really primitive to a bit less primitive. And in a few iterations, you discover your proper abstraction. Right? That's perfectly okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to loop through the codes, and I'm going to say, I'm going to find the one that code, and I'm going to find the one where promo code dot code equals the code of the service. And then once I got that promo code object, once I got that, then I'm going to say promo code object try to get discount percent. Okay, what's happening here? Yes. Okay, now we need these attribute accessors code percent. Fine. Well, so I've written a lot of code without running the test, and that kind of makes me feel nervous. I'm gonna run the tests. Initialize concept promo service date. Really? Oh man, I'm so spoiled by Rails. I don't even know how to require the date. Come on, I'm trying to run it right now. It's running. Wait, do runtime errors ruin this website?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, stop it, and I'm running again. Oh, it's not doing anything. Okay, we're stuck again. So I'm gonna have to save this.
Copy it.
I'm gonna save it over here. All this code, and yeah, it's still stuck. So I'm gonna have to refresh this whole web page.
It's pretty brittle, huh?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. I mean, this is their business, Replit.com. This is like an anti-advertisement. This video is going to be like an anti-Replit.com video. Okay, well, we refreshed and things are working better. Undefined method discount percent for an array. Okay, discount. This is on line 117. Okay, so we got an object. Is it detect? Detect. First, yes, returns the first. So, yeah, now let's do that again. And I think, okay, I bet we need this. All right, the number of failures is reducing, and now we go 154. Oh, right, of course. This is where we were diving inside of the promo service, inside the internals. And now if we want to get more info about a promo code, then we should say .new, and then we can get the actual promo code, and we can promo code object. I want to distinguish between the code, which is a bunch of letters, and the object. I really don't like the naming of this that much because it's too long, but we'll go with this for now. Promo service, we can refactor very quickly and easily. And was it just code? I'm so bad. So yeah, I've got inconsistent naming here. This should be promo code object. Oh, okay. Should we demonstrate that? No, I don't feel like it. We can do it later. All right, we're getting closer to actually fixing the test. All right. So the problem here is that the promo service, the discount percent, isn't taking into account the expired promo codes. Now, I wonder why is this one failing, though? I want to fix this first, because
Sure.
otherwise I might be confusing myself.
Yeah, and it illustrates again how we started at the wrong level of abstraction, right? Which now forces you to go back and refactor everything because you've discovered the proper level of abstraction, which is good.
Okay. Discount percent, I think. Wait, what is it? Promo code has a
158.
discount, promo service dot discount percent. Oh, there, I'm gonna delete this. And I think that second test will pass. Oh, good. All right, why is it, oh, 27.3, that's weird. Okay, I'm gonna go now, and now we're finally dealing with expired promo codes. So I'm gonna go to the promo service, and the discount percent is not knowing about expirations, and now we need to check if the promo code object is expired. Then we're going to return 0. Return 0 if promo code object expired. And the promo code object is expired if expiry is less than. I actually prefer date time objects because
Sure.
date time is better than date, because you got time zones and hours and minutes, but for simplicity and to make incremental progress, I'm just going to compare dates. So if the expiry is less than date today, then I think, okay, yes, let's run the tests. Oh, wow. Undefined expired for nil class. Oh, okay, yeah, right. Promo code object might be, did I not have a stale promo code? What? I'm testing with stale here. Okay, so on line 96, undefined less than, so expiry is nil. Oh, duh. Okay, that's only if there's if there's no expiry date, then it's not expired. If there's no expiry date. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Oh, whew. Okay, so that was quite a long time to get this one test to pass because we had to do a bunch of refactoring. Okay, so we did a lot of refactoring just now, and we got a test to pass. So now I want to take a break and see if there's anything in the code that we can make it cleaner.
Yeah.
Do some refactoring. So let's see. Let's look at this. Shopping cart got new. There's items and there's a promo code and it's stale. And this is quite a clean. That's a pretty clean interface. So now I wonder if the promo service can be cleaned up. Maybe I shouldn't be using such strong language, but this is a string. This code here is a string, and this code here is an object. And this can cause confusion. And this is where dynamically typed Ruby can shoot you in the foot if you're not paying attention. And that's why naming is very important. So if we name things better, we're less likely to get the types mismatched. So let's see. code could be alphanumeric code, it could be code string, it could be promo code string. We could say promo code object and there's promo code string. That's very long, but no one's going to be confused. Promo code. I think we're going to use code. We're going to use a promo code object a lot. We're going to use a promo code string a lot. One could be more popular than the other. Not sure which one, so I'm not sure which one to name with the short name code. Or maybe we should never use the short name code. That's another way to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna go with that decision. We're not gonna use the short name code because that's confusing. And this is always going to be the code object. So code object, promo code new.
What about calling it? What about calling it promo?
Pardon?
What about calling it promo?
Promo. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh yes, thank you. It's way better. Okay, promo. We're gonna say now. This is. Ooh, now I'm confused. See, I just confused myself with this terrible naming.
Wow.
Which one is the object and which one is the string? So I think this is the string.
Mm-hmm.
And so we could agree that code is always the string.
Yeah.
And promo is always the object.
Yeah.
Okay. Code. Okay, and so we need the promo code object. Okay, I'm going to change this to promo. And code object with promo codes. Promo code. Oh yeah, this is going to be promo. Promo. Oh boy, this is going to be code. Okay, fine. Return 0 if promo. Yeah. Okay, this is a small improvement. Let's run the tests. Oh, so glad that passed because I was quite confused. Now I'm going to change this to promo. No, this is going to be promo. And run it again. Oh, what a relief. That was the most stressful part of the interview. Okay. Let's see, what else can we make cleaner? Oh, this is way better. I'm so glad you came up with the name promo.
Yeah.
Way less typing.
Clean.
And
two hardest things in software development is naming things and invalidating.
Naming and cache invalidation.
Cache invalidation.
I've done both.
And one-off errors, right?
All right.
One-off. Hey, I know you can do a bit more refactoring. Just in the interest of time, let's discuss one glaring thing that we missed here, which is we are assuming that either there is no promo code, which is nil, or that the promo code is actually in the system. But what if the user makes a typo? And
well, we do have a bad promo code test here.
I see. Okay, so I missed that. Okay, cool.
Bad code.
Bad code. Yeah. Okay, so if it's not on the system, okay, great. One last thing then. What if I go and apply my promo code and I get my discount and then I like it and I try it again, but my promo code is spent. I already spent it.
Oh, okay.
Right, so then I shouldn't be able to keep, using the same promo code over and over necessarily, even though it's not expired. I already used it. So maybe we can have something that says, oh, well, wait, you already used this promo code. It's spent.
Oh, okay. So I would, we would want to test test promo code spent. And we would want to test that you use a code once and you get a discount, and then you use the code again and you don't get a discount.
Yeah.
But the first thing I thought was, well, do we need a concept of a user now? Because we're not dealing with any users here.
No, the code itself, the promo code, can have this attribute. Is it spent or not?
Okay, so
Already.
we don't need a user, it's only inside the promo code?
It's a virgin code, or it's already been spent, right?
Okay. But do we need a database to persist it, or we can just assume that we will just use memory for the database?
Yeah. Let's pretend it somehow gets persisted.
Okay. Sure. We can start writing the test. Because you know what, a lot of people will dive into the implementation right away, but why write any implementation if you don't know how you're going to test it? So
Exactly.
we're going to have a shopping cart, and we're going to use the original promo code. And the first time we test it out, it's going to return. We want the discount to work. So I'm going to say we're going to grab this documentation here, which is debatable because diving into the internals. So maybe there should really be a shopping cart. There should probably be a shop. You know what? There should be should add shopping cart discount percent. Yeah. But we'll do that later if we have time. So that's the percent, and we expect the actual value is going to be 30 times 0.85. And first we're going to run it to make sure it's reasonable. Yes. So this is the first time you use the promo code, but the second time you use the promo code, you're calling total a second time. So if you call total a second time, then it's going to be like this with no percent. So second total calculation, or second use of the promo code. And we're going to run it, and it better fail. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so now we got to go into the total function. And the total function is calling the promo service. And the promo service it knows about expiration. So now it needs to know about whether it's used. So I'm going to say return 0 if promo is used or spent. Spent is better than used, but there might be something better than spent. What word did you use, Alex?
I think it's just off the top of my head, spent.
Okay. And we're going to start with spent is going to start off with false, and then later on it's going to become true. Oh, we've got an attribute X spent. I like the question marks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to, because it tells you it's a Boolean. So now how do we set? We need to set spent.
You can, for the purpose of this test, you can just fake it as a fixture, right?
Okay, you know, I'm gonna say there's a command that sets spent to true. It's a command on the promo code, and I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna say,
because later on when you wire up your system, meaning when you add the plumbing, Then there will be persistence, and there will be another feature which flips the switch when you actually use the promo code. It will flip it to spent. But for now, you can fake that. You can fake it in the interest of time.
Okay. So how do I fake? Let's see.
Just hard code it. You can just hard code it. That's okay.
Well, I can't. Oh, I see.
In your test, you can fake it.
I say true.
In your test, you can fake it, right?
I can't just hard code it because it needs to behave differently depending on when it's called.
Sure, but in your test, you should be able to fake it. At least that's how I think.
Oh, you mean stub it? Somehow stub the promo code?
Just pretend as if the system flipped the switch on the promo code from.
Okay, so then I would have to do some stubbing, which I would have to go promo code, I'd have to look up how to do unit test stub.
Just in the interest of time here, right? Because later on we have to wire up the system and add plumbing.
Right, but do you want to? Okay, so to demonstrate, we might not get
in
it
here. You can just say, Phil. In here, you can just say spent equals true, right?
Well, I tried that. That won't work because then the first time we calculate the total, it will. Like this one will not work.
Well, in here you can say, before you do that, you can say spent equals false. And then down on the second time you can say spent equals true. It should affect the outcome.
Yeah, but I would need to grab the promo code object itself, and which I do not have access to because it's the side of the shopping cart.
I see. Okay, sorry. Then go with yours.
So I would have to stub the method on the class.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Should we do that or should we move on?
However you want. Ideally, I don't like stopping necessarily, but in a pinch, yeah, we can do it.
I think I might be able to do this. I might be able to hack this anyway. If we just say, after we check expiry, we say spent equals true, then that might do the trick. Running the tests. Expected test with good promo code. Okay, that didn't work because why didn't it work? Only cart.total calls discount percent, and only discount percent calls. Oh, let's move this above. Okay, let's run that. No. Zero promo expired. We'd have to use some puts statements here. Okay, let's only run the one test. Test promo code spent. Spent. Gonna comment out these. You might need to edit out this part of the video.
No problem.
Okay, Test promo code spent. 187. Oh, I'm calling it twice. I think maybe. Okay, I don't need this. I'm gonna run it again. Shopping cart assert equals times 85 promo code. I'm only calling total up here, and I'm calling total down here. The first time it calls total, it should return and I want to say for code. Okay. Now running it again. Spent for code ASD true and true. Why is it true both times? So the first time we call total, it is spent. Because we're calling expired. And when do we call expired? We call it when we're calling discount percent. And when are we calling discount percent? When we're calculating total. So the first time we calculate the total, it's calling discount percent, which is setting spent to true. Shouldn't the promo service here, promo service, no, promo code. It's at this point that I would probably want to take a break.
Yeah.
I would probably go walk away. And
yeah, don't worry about it. We kind of painted ourselves in the corner here, but no, so far this is brilliant. Don't worry about it. That's great.
Yeah, normally we'd be using a database.
Right, I understand. But
we wouldn't have to worry about hacking it.
Sure.
So.
Anyway, that's great. We can leave it for later, maybe figure it out.
Okay.
How to do it in memory. But overall, this has been really excellent exercise. Thank you very much, Phil. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be able to glean a lot of interesting points from your work.
All right.
Any thoughts from your side?
So now are we still doing the coding interview thing, or are we
coding? Just maybe a bit of reflection of how this went and what how you felt about this. I know obviously you're under the duress. It's being recorded and all that, so it's not the ideal environment, and we're not really doing pair programming. But how did you feel about this? And any word of advice for people who are doing coding interviews?
I thought it went pretty well until we started working on the spending, on the spent concept.
Yeah, that's fine.
We took tiny little steps. We ran the tests very frequently. I think when we were doing that refactor on the promo service, where we changed it from an array of hashes to an array of proper promo codes, maybe we could have run the test more frequently then as well, because there was like 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes where I wasn't running the tests. Yeah, maybe you could have run the test every 5 minutes, that kind of thing.
Sure.
And taken smaller steps. I feel like we were taking, Yes, we were taking steps that were too large when we were refactoring this. So I had to remember a lot of stuff in my head. And that felt uncomfortable. I think it's natural to try to change a bunch of code at the same time because you want to get it done quickly. But yes, in retrospect, I would have taken a little bit of extra time to think about breaking up the refactor into smaller steps so that I would be less likely to make a mistake. In fact, I feel that we were lucky that the refactor went as quickly as it did. Yeah, because there could be other times where I might be a little bit sleepy or tired. I think the refactor would not have gone as well on a different day. So spending an extra time, just an extra couple of minutes thinking about how to break up the refactor into smaller steps would have been better.
Yeah. Absolutely. And now as far as your discovering proper abstraction and didn't want to go into breaking the law of the meter, how did that go? You've decided that working at the promo code level is too low level of abstraction, so you elevate it to the service or shopping cart. I don't know how your thinking was going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was elevated to shopping cart.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, this is really good, excellent exercise, really good illustration how things work. As you know, I mean, from my perspective, I would love to have you on my team, but I understand you're entertaining multiple offers. And this is the current situation we live in, where all the great talented people such as yourself are being aggressively sought after. And I hope Phil will somehow find a way to get you to join my team. But even if not, if you get a more amazing offer, that would be also great. And I know you're going to be doing fantastic things whichever team you join.
Thanks, Alex. You know what? No matter where I end up with, I want to work with you for sure. Like, I want to work with you, if not this month, I want to work with you next year or the year after that.
Yeah, I love that.
Because you are such a good teacher. You're amazing. You're a professor, and not just teaching abstract stuff that you can use, but you're teaching people stuff about like day-to-day engineering techniques and philosophies that have real impact on the real world. I should call you Professor Alex from now on.
Thank you, but you see, you and I are working nicely, right? We from the first point of contact, we recognize each other and we can work beautifully. But that, there are people who just cannot jive with me. Like they just don't agree with anything I'm saying, right? So it's case to case basis, right? You never know. But you gotta, you join the team where there's synergy, where there's like-minded people, and now you prosper, now you become really successful. But if people are digging their heels or they don't disagree now, that's not gonna be working well, right? So it's really, you're picking and choosing your battles, and you're cutting your losses, and that's how we go through life, right? But a guy like you will never have any issues finding the most rewarding work, and you're really great. I want to again thank you for your time and for generously sharing your expertise. A lot of people will learn a lot from this.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah,
I learned something.
Pleasure.
I learned a few things today as well from you. So it's it's always back and forth, right?
It was a real pleasure from interviewing with you, Alex, and I hope we have another interview.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Thank you again, and we'll chat soon. Thank you, Phil.
Okay. Thank you, Alex.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye.